Are we rolling?
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back with another My Saucy Opinion. And we have a pretty good movie today, which is exciting. So today we're talking about Godzilla. Godzilla!
-1.
Yeah, Godzilla -1. Because there's lots of Godzillas now. Because you have old Godzilla, then there's new Godzilla, and now there's new Godzilla. But then there's also Godzilla versus Kong.
True.
So lots of Godzillas.
And then there's Godzilla X Kong coming up. The new kingdom.
New empire.
New empire.
Okay, so first, I guess the first thing to say is I really enjoyed the movie. It was really good. I think you can say the same.
I liked it. I went in, I hadn't seen the trailer, like no expectations or anything, and I liked it. I liked the storyline.
I think first big point to talk about was the story was very refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of monster and big, even Transformers and stuff like that. Like big creature movies suffer from human plot. And this one had a very refreshing human story, and I found myself caring about mostly all the characters. I wouldn't say there was anyone I didn't care about or hated.
No, there's no one that you're like, I could do without.
Yeah, everyone had a good personality. One of my favorites was the scientist guy. He reminded me a lot of. But so the scientist in the movie reminded me a lot of Ke Kwan. Sorry if I butcher that. But having just seen Loki season 2 and seeing him play kind of a like time scientist and figure stuff out, watching this scientist also play around and figure out and brainstorm stuff, it brought in the same kind of comedy and light to the movie, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a like refreshingness. No spoilers, but there was a lot of points in the movie that I didn't expect to happen, where it's just kind of going about, and then oh wow, like okay,
Couple like
that
turns.
just happened, like wow.
Yeah, just a couple turns that you weren't expecting.
Yeah, there's some good twists and turns.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say they made sense to the story as a whole too. Sometimes you'll like have a weird plot twist, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, they weren't out of left field.
Yeah, it advanced the movie further.
It advanced the depth of the plot a good bit. When the twist or whatever would happen. Yeah, this was one of the first Godzilla movies where I'd say I wasn't rooting for Godzilla, but I kind of wanted the humans to succeed in their plan, just because there was so much like depth into their characters, and you just didn't want them to fail and die. And
I will say I've never seen a Japanese Godzilla movie, and I think the acting in it, even like reading the subtitles, is kind of like they're really good.
yeah,
and I don't mean that in like they can't.
Well, it brings a little life to the film.
I found myself like really invested. I feel like when we watch American movies, I'm kind of like, but I don't know. I've never seen the originals, and I think I have to go watch those now because I've never seen the original.
Like,
a couple lines that the tall guy said.
Oh, what was his name? Yeah, there was a tall character. God, I can't remember his name. He was so funny though, and every time he came onto the screen, it was just so lighthearted, and he always brought cheer to the main character, which brought cheer to you. Mm-hmm. And it was good.
Yeah, he brought lightness to the story, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It was I liked their little, he got like a job on a boat, and they had like a little boat crew, and the whole boat crew is just awesome. And that's kind of what the whole movie is focused around, is like the little boat crew and their day-to-day life. And it's just so cool. It's Godzilla himself. So he moved really slow, which I liked, because it felt very classic and like, where he's just kind of, a little robotic, I guess, almost,
Just the size of him is so big that like he literally just can't move.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like Godzilla running towards you?
Well, I was gonna say, then you see the new trailer for the new Godzilla Kong, and Godzilla's like
Running
sprinting
the
next to
same.
King Kong, and you're like, oh. I liked how they did the spikes on his back. Whenever he used his like flame breath, it was very, like, it was intense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when it started, you kind of like grip your seat, like, oh my God.
I think I dropped my jaw
like,
a couple times.
Get out, get out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I guess in most of the Godzilla films, it's a little like, it's kind of like a cutting laser beam, you know, where it cuts through stuff. Where this one was, it's like a nuclear bomb. You know, like he shot his laser, it was like he just dropped an atom bomb on a little city, which was kind of like scary and intense. And so whenever he used that power, it, I don't know, it
You're
just
like,
created so much tension. And then two, they added some new elements to the Godzilla character. I won't say what they are, but that kind of keeps it a fresh, new Godzilla. No post-credit scene in this movie, but it does end on quite a cliffhanger, which we kind of looked at each other at the end like, what's going on here? Is this
What
person?
does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean? Is this person gonna die? Is this person dead? Is this like, what's going on here?
Which I kind of wasn't expecting. So I was like,
yeah. So I think, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too excited for Godzilla Kong. I'm excited for Godzilla +2, not -1, or maybe it's -2.
maybe it's +1 now.
Ooh,
Godzilla
+1, because he's got a +1 Mothra coming in. Kind of cool.
Kind of hope they do another one, just because I like this one so much.
This one did come out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
It kind of like got announced, at least to me. I found out about it maybe 2 months ago, and you're like, whoa, wait, it's coming out in like 2 months? Like, hold up.
I think it's hard when it's international film too. Sometimes it doesn't even make it overseas. Our theater was sold out though. We tried to go on Friday, and we were like, oh, let's go to a 7:30. No seats, but our theater was packed, so it's clearly gonna be big.
Yeah,
I want to know what it's at, honestly.
Well, and two, they only had a 15 mil budget, so I'm sure even just opening night in like the United States could cover that budget like easily, easily. So yeah, you know, they quadrupled it, and then for the next one they can up it to 20 mil budget, and then maybe bring in some more monsters, and then depth in the story, and then, because I think there's around 20 to 30 different Godzilla monsters. Some of them are kind of dumb, like King Caesar. I love King Caesar.
Oh, gotcha.
But it'd be cool to see some of the lesser ones introduced, and that's where they were introduced, was in the old like Japanese films. So, they had the plan they were using against Godzilla was the first plan in a monster movie where I kind of, hey, that might actually work. Like, wait a minute, this guy has like a big brain idea. This like might actually kill Godzilla. Like, I've never thought of that.
I think I liked the plot of the movie so much because it wasn't like every other Godzilla movie you see where it's kind of like typical. Like,
yeah, you
it was very
couldn't
different.
figure it out. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked it. I like when it's more of a game. You don't know what's going on, so you have to like figure it out as you go along.
All right. Well, I think that's all of our thoughts we can spew out on this one. It's not as heavily sauced as Miss Marvel, but still a good bit of sauce here.
Not as heavily sauced?
Well, because Miss Marvel was like 20 minutes long, and this is only 10 minutes. That's what I mean. Like, we're not spewing as much info,
yeah,
you know.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, so we're going to have to plug this one into the sauce meter here. I'll say, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm gonna say this one's spicy. This is a spicy movie.
Yeah.
But then again, I couldn't tell you what it needed to do
What's
to be
wrong?
better. So should it be higher up? I don't know.
You did say it was just a tad slow at the beginning, in your opinion.
It was a tad slow in the beginning.
So.
Which you needed for some of the character development, which I appreciated. But it did just feel like I was kind of looking around like, hey, Godzilla's in this movie, right? Like, this is a Godzilla movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Would you agree with it's a spicy on the sauce?
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it more than other things I've seen recently.
Yeah.
I felt like it was different while still being Godzilla and like being redone. It was very different.
The other movie I put at spicy was the No One Can Save You, the alien one.
I like that.
So would you put those two kind of on the same, like
that was
enjoyment level, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So this was a spicy movie. Thank you all for watching this saucy opinion, and I hope to see you in the next one.